Hey folks, my name is Joey. I'm a crafter, 3D printer, and a collector of model trains, and I'm going to show you how I build a variety of different things. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be making a name plaque for my good friend who just graduated from college as a thank you present / congratulatory gift of her graduating from college, because she was there for me during the time of me being in the hospital. She even went over my medications while I was in the hospital to make sure that I was getting treated properly. And I really thank her for that. And I hope this shows. I started this project off by looking up some pictures for inspiration of what I wanted to make. I wanted to make her a keychain at first, but it ended up that it would have been too small to be a keychain for the text and all that. So here are some of the images that I got inspired by. I was going to make my own version of the one with the 3D mortar and pestle, but I couldn't find a good enough image of filigree and then right font. So I cropped the image myself and only used the parts that I wanted from the actual sign that you see here. And this is how I used to crop it. Removed the background, I got rid of the letters that I didn't want, even the mortar and pestle. Then cropped it the way that I wanted to. The only issue that I had was I lost the one side of filigree on the right hand side, but I was able to fix that later in Pages. Here's a look at the final crop before I uploaded it to Pages. The first thing I did when I brought it into Pages was put her name down in a text box and then chose the font that I was looking for. I searched through a couple of different fonts, as you can see here. These are the fonts that I would pick through because I wanted a similar type font, but I didn't really want it to match. And then I scaled it to size and then centered it and made it bold. Then changed the color so it would match the rest of the image, so that when I uploaded it to the lithophane maker, it would make it all the same layer. The next thing I did was replicated the filigree. I tried taking the image and cropping it just to that specific section of filigree. It didn't look good, so I just decided to trace it and make my own version, so it looks a little different but also similar at the same time. And then after I drew it by hand, I smoothed it out by making them rounded edges, and then made 3 different sections and then changed them all to the same color and joined them together, which you'll see in a second, and then flipped it and then put it in the exact location that the other one was in. Here's a look at the final image. I then exported it as a PDF, and then once I exported that PDF as a JPEG at the best quality possible, and then cropped it down to the size that I wanted. I then uploaded the image to 3DPRox, the lithophane maker. I then went to image settings and then changed the voxels per pixel. It's from 4 to 6. And then went on to Thingiverse and downloaded a model for a mortar and pestle. I tried making my own, but it didn't come out good at all. So I just used this one, even though it said Merry Christmas. You don't even notice it on the actual finished product. And then uploaded the model into, or both models actually, into Cura and centered it. And then scaled it down to the right size and the right thickness that I wanted, and mirrored it. The only problem that I had with this model is that there's a little hole, as you could see, in the mortar and pestle, but that's something that was going to have to be lived with. This is the point that I realized that it had to be a name plaque as opposed to a keychain, because, like I said before, the letters were too small for it to be made a keychain. Then the next thing I did was slice the model so that I can get the layer height where I needed to do the layer change from the wood to the gold, and I was able to then, in post-processing, change the temperature to the temperature that I needed it to be for the gold. That was a new thing that I kind of taught myself. I figured out by messing around on post-processing one day. It was a great feature to find. Then I printed the model, as you can see here. It came out great, but the picture doesn't do it justice. It looks a little blurry. And then I printed this phone stand that I found as well, and I thought I had a video of that printing, but I guess I don't. I didn't take a picture of it either, which I forgot to. So it had a stand. She loved it.